Hey everybody, this is TJR, and I'm doing a follow-up video to a video that I did a few weeks ago. I entitled How Dangerous is the Lawsuit Against Ed Sheeran for his song Thinking Out Loud. In that video, I made some gross errors that I need to correct and apologize for. In my video, I stated that the lawsuit was being enacted by the Marvin Gaye estate, and that is incorrect. And this was a conclusion I jumped to, I think maybe based on the Blurred Lines case, and maybe some misreporting that I read as well. I should have dug a little deeper. I should have done more research. I do apologize for this. The lawsuit is actually being led by investment banker David Pullman and a company called Structured Assets, which owns a share of the copyrights of the song. I should add that an earlier lawsuit by the family of Ed Townsend, who co-wrote the song, was previously rejected. Now, also in that same video, I talked at some length about the Blurred Lines lawsuit. And in that video, I stated that the lawsuit was enacted by the Marvin Gaye estate. Not quite. What actually happened is the songwriters of Blurred Lines, Pharrell and Robin Thicke, got wind of the fact that the Marvin Gaye estate was alleging that they had infringed on their copyright. They decided, the songwriters of Blurred Lines, I should say, decided to be preemptive and file a suit first, stating that their song was an original piece of work and was not infringing on the Marvin Gaye song Got to Give It Up. That preemptive strike backfired and they lost. So once again, I do want to apologize for not getting my facts straight on this. I really should have done more research on this before opening my mouth here on YouTube. A number of people called me out on it, and I do appreciate that they did. I might not have realized otherwise. And even the people that called me out, though, were very nice about it. One person said, I was being misleading, which I was, definitely. Not intentionally, but I was still being misleading, even if unintentionally. But he said, but great job on the rest of the video, though, which I do appreciate. And even though those facts that I reported were not accurate, it doesn't change the fact about how I felt about both these lawsuits. The Blurred Lines case had no merit whatsoever. We didn't even have any similar chord progressions or melody lines or anything of that nature. All we had was a kind of a vibe, a similar vibe and a similar groove. That's all we had. And musicians have borrowed grooves and vibes from each other for decades now. We know this isn't copyright infringement. In the case of Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud, we have a somewhat similar chord progression during the main section of the song, during the main verses, but even then it's not 100% similar. And even if they were 100% similar, you can't copyright a chord progression any more than you can copyright a vibe or a groove. The lyrics and melodies to both those songs are completely different. There's even a video out there where Ed Sheeran is playing Thinking Out Loud live, and then for a few bars he breaks into Let's Get It On. And even he knows there's some similarities, but he understands that a chord progression is just a building block for a song, and that hundreds and hundreds of songs use similar chord progressions. And he knows he wasn't violating anybody's copyright. A vibe or a groove has never been copyrightable before. But in the case of the Blurred Lines lawsuit, a precedence has been set to where you could sue somebody over a vibe or a groove, which could have a tremendously chilling effect on creative music and the fate of popular music for all time to come. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody is going to suddenly jump out and do this, but it has set a dangerous precedent. I guess what we'll really have to pay attention to is the next time someone alleges copyright infringement over a vibe or a groove is what the court decides. And if after a couple of attempts the court says no, then hopefully the Blurred Lines incident will just be a one-off thing. In the case with this current lawsuit against Ed Sheeran over Thinking Out Loud, if the company Structured Assets actually wins that lawsuit, then the courts will be saying that you can copyright a chord progression. And once again, this will have a very chilling effect on music, on the music industry, on creativity, and on popular music in general. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I want to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to correct my mistakes. I should definitely have been more thorough, and I will endeavor to be much more thorough in the future. Bye, everybody. Take care.